Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Today we continue chapter 7 limits, and for this chapter we only have one subtopic 7.1 limits. Today we focus on these three learning objectives. 7.1 limits. Limits examine the behavior of a function fx as the value x gets closer and closer to a, but do not take on a certain value a. If the function fx approaches the number L as x approaches a, then the limit of fx as x approaches a is L and is written as limit x approach a fx equals to L. Example, if we have function fx equals to x squared plus 1, as x gets closer and closer to 0, the value of fx gets closer and closer to 1 from the left or from the right. It means kalau kita substitute value x equals to 0, so kita akan dapat 1. Tapi for limit, dia bukannya equals to 1, but closer and closer to 1. Semakin menghampiri 1. So, if we put limit x approach 0 x squared plus 1, so we can get answer 1. Limit means we just approach to 1. We look properties of limits. We have 7 types of properties. First, limit x approach a c. C is a constant, so we doesn't have x to substitute a, then we just copy c. Number 2, we have limit x approach a x, so we substitute a into x, then we get a. 3, limit x approach a x power of n, we substitute a into x, then we get a power of n. And number 4, we have limit x approach a fx plus or minus with gx. So this type of limit we can separate, like limit x approach a fx plus or minus with limit x approach a gx. We can separate, become 2 limits. Kalau tak nak separate pun tak apa. Number 5, we have limit x approach a fx times with gx. So same, this one we can separate, become limit x approach a fx times with limit x approach a gx. Number 6, limit x approach a c fx. C is a constant, so we can take out the constant, so become limit c limit x approach a fx. Kita boleh letakkan constant tu di depan limit. Number 7, we have limit x approach a fx divided by gx. So this one we can separate, limit x approach a fx divided by limit x approach a gx. Okay, so plus, minus, times and divide we can separate. Okay, now we go to substitution method. Example number 1, find the limits. A, limit x approach 3, 2. Okay, since this one doesn't have x, so we just copy 2. B, limit x approach 3, 1 over x minus 1. So this function we have x, so we substitute 1 over 3 minus 1. So equals to 1 over 2. Word limit akan hilang bila kita sub value x. Dan bila kamu dah substitute x dalam tu, automatic limit tu jangan tulis lagi dah. Okay, C, we have limit x approach 2, x squared plus 1 divided by x squared minus 1. So we substitute x equals to 2, so we get 2 squared plus 1 over 2 squared minus 1. Then we solve, we get 4 plus 1, 5. 4 minus 1, 3. So 5 over 3. D, we have limit x approach 9. Then we substitute 9 into x. So we get set 9 plus 2 over set 9 minus 2. Then we solve, we get 3 plus 2 over 3 minus 2. Then we get 5 over 1. So equals to 5. Okay, now we continue limits for rational function. If we have limit x approach a fx divided by limit x approach a gx, then we get answer 0 over 0. So this limit we need to use factorization method or multiplication of conjugate. Maksudnya kita tak boleh solve lah bila soalan tu dapat 0/0. So kita perlukan method lain untuk solve limit tu. Sama ada kita gunakan factorize ataupun second we use conjugates. We look factorization method first. Example number 1, find the limits. Okay, this limit, if I substitute x equals to 3 into function, we'll get 9 minus 9 over 3 minus 3. So saya akan dapat 0/0. So this one cannot solve. Since this one in pattern of 0/0, so I need to use factorization or multiplication of conjugate. So this type I use factorize. I need to factorize this one, so become limit x approach 3, x square minus 9 is x minus 3, x plus 3 divide by x minus 3. Okay. Selagi saya tak masukkan nilai x equals to 3 dalam function, selagi tu limit tu perlu disalin. Okay, so equals to factorize and cancel out. So I'll get limit x approach 3, x plus 3. Okay, and last we substitute value x into function, then we get 3 plus 3, so equals to 6. Okay, question B, we have limit x approach to x cubed minus 8 divided by x square minus 4. So first we test, substitute x into function, so we get 8 minus 8 over 4 minus 4. Then we get answer 0/0. If we get answers in 0/0, so we need to use factorization method or conjugate. But for this one, we use factorize. Equals to limit x approach to x cubed minus 8. Okay, we try solve x cubed minus 8, factorize using calculator. Then we get two answer for x. First 2 and second one in terms of I. I is complex number, so we can solve. So we can use factorize. So since you already learned about long division, so we use long division to solve this one. So we take x cubed minus 8 divide by x minus 2. Since we know 2 is a zeros of x cubed minus 8. So we times with x square, then we get x cubed minus 2x square. Then we minus, doesn't have x square, so 0, minus we get 2x square minus 8. Then minus with plus with 2x, then we get 2x square minus 4x. We minus, we get 4x minus 8. So this one plus 4. Then we get 4x minus 8. Then minus, no remainder. Okay, so x cubed minus 8 is x minus 2 times with x square plus 2x plus 4 divide by x square minus 4, we can separate, become x minus 2, x plus 2. Okay, then we can cancel out x minus 2 with x minus 2. So we have limit x approach to x square plus 2x plus 4 divided by x plus 2. Okay, next we substitute x equals to 2 into function. So we get 2 square plus 2 times 2 plus 4 over 2 plus 2. So we get answer. Answer is 3. Okay, now we continue next question. C. We have limit x approach negative 1 for x square plus x minus 3 divided by x plus 1. Okay, now we substitute x into function. So we get, we test 4 minus 1 minus 3 over negative 1 plus 1. So we get answer 0/0. Means we can solve this limit So we need to use factorize or conjugate. Since this one doesn't have cert, so we use factorize. Okay, now we copy limit x approach -1. We factorize, we get 4x x 1 and 3 plus minus divide by x plus 1. Then we cancel out the same function, so x plus 1, then we get limit x approach -1 for x minus 3. Okay, next we substitute -1 into function, so we get 4 times -1 minus 3, then we get final is -7. And last question for factorize, we have limit t approach 0, 3 plus t square minus 9 divided by t. First, we try substitute t equals to 0 into function, so we get 9 minus 9 over 0. So we get 0 over 0. Means we can solve this one. We need to use factorize. We expand first. So we get 9 plus 6t plus t square minus 9 over t. Okay, then we solve, we get 6t plus t square over t. Okay, if we substitute t equals to 0, we still get 0 over 0. So we need to factorize again. Limit t approach 0, we factorize t, then we get 6 plus t over t. Then we cancel out t, so we get limit t approach 0, 6 plus t. Then we substitute t equals to 0, so we get 6 plus 0, so equals to 6. Then answer is 6. Okay, selagi tak substitute nilai t dalam function, jangan hilangkan perkataan limit. Mesti kamu copy daripada awal sampai habis. Tak letak perkataan limit, dikira salah. Okay, now we continue multiplication of conjugates method. We go to example number 1. Find the limits. We have A, limit x approach 1, x minus 1 divided by 2 times we set x minus 1. If I substitute x equals to 1, so we get 0 over 0. Okay. If we get 0 over 0, so we need to factorize or conjugate. Sebabkan soalan ni ada set, ada square root kat situ, so kita perlu conjugate. So limit x approach 1, x minus 1 divided by, saya expand 2 set x minus 2 times with conjugate, so 2 set x plus 2 over 2 set x plus 2. Okay, then we expand limit x approach 1. Okay, tipsnya yang tak sama jangan expand. Okay, yang atas ni tak sama, kita tak perlu expand. We just put x minus 1 times with 2 set x plus 2. Jangan expand supaya kamu senang nak solve. Okay, divide by, denominator dia sama, so we solve. 2 times 2 4, set x is x, minus plus with minus, and 2 2 4. Then we solve. Limit x approach 1, x minus 1, 2 set x plus 2 divide by 4x minus 4, we can factorize 4, then we get x minus 1. Okay, kita nampak ada benda yang sama, so we can cancel out. Then we get limit x approach 1, 2 set x plus 2 over 4. Okay, next we substitute x equals to 1 into function, so we get 2 set 1 plus 2 over 4. Then we solve, we get 2 plus 2 over 4, so equals to 1. So the answer is 1. Okay, we look question B. Limit x approach -1, set 2 plus x minus 1 divided by x plus 1. Okay, if I substitute x equals to -1 into function, so we can answer 0 over 0. Okay, since we get 0 over 0, so we need to use factorization method or conjugates method. And this question we have cert, so we use conjugate. Conjugate untuk chapter 7, dia tak kisah berada di atas ataupun di bawah cert tu. Kalau dia di atas, so kita conjugate yang atas lah. Okay, so we start conjugate. Limit x approach negative 1, cert 2 plus x minus 1 divide by x plus 1. We times with conjugate. Tengok yang ada cert. So cert 2 plus x plus 1 divide by 2 plus x cert plus 1. Okay, kita conjugate yang atas bab atas yang ada cert. Okay, then yang sama kita expand, yang tak sama jangan expand. So limit x approach negative 1, we get 2 plus x minus 1 divide, okay, this one tak sama, so jangan expand, tinggal je cert 2 plus x plus 1. Then we solve, we get limit x approach negative 1, this one x plus 1 over x plus 1 times with cert 2 plus x plus 1. So we see x plus 1 same with this one, we cancel out, then we get limit x approach negative 1, 1 over cert 2 plus x plus 1. Then we substitute value x equals to negative 1, then we get 1 over cert 2 minus 1 plus 1, then we get 1 over 2. And last question for conjugate, we have limit x approach 2, x minus 2 divided by 2 minus 6 minus x. Okay, since we substitute 2 into function, we get 0 over 0, so we need to use conjugate. So limit x approach 2, x minus 2 over 2 minus cert 6 minus x. We times with conjugate, 2 plus cert 6 minus x divide by 2 plus cert 6 minus x. Kita conjugate yang ada cert. Okay, next we expand. Yang tak sama kita stay, x minus 2 times with 2 plus cert 6 minus x. Okay, denominator dia sama dua-dua, so kita boleh expand. So we get 4, saya lajukan 4 minus 6 minus x. Then we solve, limit x approach 2, x minus 2, 2 plus cert 6 minus x divide by 4 minus 6 plus x. Then we solve, we get limit x approach 2, x minus 2 times with 2 plus cert 6 minus x divide by 4 minus 6, we get negative 2, so x minus 2. Then we cancel out x minus 2, so yang tinggal limit x approach 2, 2 plus cert 6 minus x. Okay, next we substitute 2 into function, we get 2 plus cert 6 minus 2, so equals to 6 minus 2 4, cert 4 is 2, 2 plus 2 4. Okay, so apa yang kamu belajar hari ini, kita just substitute value x into function untuk limit. Tapi if we get answer 0 over 0, so we need to use factorization method or conjugates method. This question for your exercise, if you have any problem, you can ask your lecturer. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you.